Howdy folks, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be doing another episode of World in Flames Days of Decision combined game playthrough. This is game number 3. We are on the July-August turn. Last time we saw the end of Ethiopia. The Italians finally took them out. I mean, actually they took them out pretty quick, but that was a pretty good die roll they had. So this turn will probably be pretty short, and I can't imagine any of the turns for the rest of this year are going to be all that long. So let's get right started. I'll probably get 2 or 3 turns done this episode. Let's go over starting money for the major powers. Let's see, with Germany at 2, Japan at 0, Italy at 3, the USSR at -1. The Commonwealth at 0, France at 0, US at 0, and China at 1. With the lack of money, I wouldn't expect too much bidding. Also to note that both Japan and Italy in 1937 are eligible for gear-ups. So both those major powers will probably start saving money soon. Okay, I have already put in bids for the major powers who want to bid. Let's go take a look at that and see what we have. Keep misplacing my tweezers. Okay, so we have basically 3 major powers bidding. They each bid 1. We have Germany bidding 1. They have Commonwealth bidding 1 and Italy bidding 1. Now, let's go take a look at the track, see how this is going to play out. Germans are bidding 1. They're in first place for a +4. That's going to give them first, so a total of 5. The Commonwealth is bidding 1. They're going to get a +2 for their 5th place position. That's going to give them 3. That'll put them in second. Italy is bidding 1. They're way down here at the bottom. They're going to get 0, but doesn't matter. They're still going to get a chance to possibly get a political option. So the first card will be the Germans. The second last card will be the Italians. Now let's see for the major powers who did not bid. Here we have the Japanese and the Americans are tied at 3. We'll go over to the political effectiveness to break that tie. We see they're both at 2. However, the U.S. has a -1 due to the naval treaty. So that's going to break the tie in favor of the Japanese. They'll be 4th. The Americans will be 5th. The Chinese, surprisingly, are at +2. That's going to put them at 6. The French and the Soviets are tied. However, the French have a political effectiveness of 3, and the Soviets have a 2, but the Soviets still have the -1 going on. So that puts them at 1. So the French will break that tie. They'll be 7th, and the Soviets will be 8th. All right, let's go see what the Germans want to do. Okay, Germany is going to use IPO3, minor alliance. However, in this case, she's going to try and break an alliance. She's going to try to break the French alliance with Romania. So, what that is, that's a die roll, and there's a bunch of modifiers to it, so let's go over that. The prerequisite is Romania is not in a civil war, and it has not been declared war on this turn. It does have a political marker. Okay, all right, so what we're going to do is look at the modifiers. Okay, let's see, into the major powers. Add 1 to the result for each factory resource marker you have in that minor. So Germany has all 3 oil, so that's a +3. Add the minor's willpower. Okay, Romania's willpower is 4, I believe. I will look it up real quick, but I'm pretty sure it's a 4. There it is. Show that. Romania's willpower is right there, and it is indeed a 4. So that's going to be +7. Subtract your initiative position. Germany is in first position, so that's a 6. Subtract the distance in hexes on the status display between Germany and Romania's political markers. That is a total of 4, so that's a +2. The minor is not hostile to Germany. We have to subtract 3 because we're trying to break an alliance. So we end up with a net -1. So this will succeed on anything except a 1. Roll the die. And we rolled a 5. So Germany does indeed break the alliance between Romania and France. Now, what are the effects of that? We're going to apply the treaty chart. We have successfully broke it, so we're still going to apply the treaty chart. Okay, it was not our own alliance, so we don't have to use the war chart. And we got to pay 5 money. So I'm going to apply the treaty chart. When I come back, Germany will get to activate a minor. All right, I got to dig all that stuff out. I'll be back in a second. Okay, Germany gets to activate a minor, and I think the Germans are going to activate... they're going to activate Finland. We have a -2 in Finland. For the Soviets, take that, grab that marker. We'll head over to the status display. I should have dug it out beforehand. I keep doing that over and over and over again. Is it on the bottom? No, that's Sweden. Of course. It's in the stack here somewhere. So. Where are you? Probably on the top this time. Oh, yeah. All right. We got Finland. We got -2 from the Soviets. That's going to drive the marker this way because the Soviets are over here. So that will move Finland 1 hex this way. And I think that will be about it. Last thing to do is roll a die and see if Germany ends the political phase, which would be different or not. An 8 does not end the political phase. We will move on to the Commonwealth, and we will see what they potentially want to do. Okay, the Commonwealth is going to place a coup cell. It's going to cost 6 money. It's pretty expensive, but they're going to place a coup cell inside Spain. And the reason that the Commonwealth wants to do that is that I know from previous experiences in the game, if the fascists get a hold of Spain, it's pretty much toast. You're done. As far as the Democrats go, it's pretty tough to overcome that. So we'd rather keep Spain more democratic than anything else. So we're going to place a coup cell in Spain. There are no U.S. entry effects. There are no minor option effects. It's going to cost 6 money. And then since this is an O option, 0C, the UK won't activate a minor. And we'll just roll to see if the UK ends the political phase. So we'll give a die roll. Now there's been 1 previous political option played, and 8 does not end the political phase, and we will move on to the Italians and see what they want to do. Okay, we're on to Italy, and Italy has decided to do a minor economic agreement. She's going to sign that agreement with Spain and get one of the 4 Spanish resources. It's going to cost her 4 money, and I'll pay for that and put out the 1 Italian influence. Then the Italians will get to activate a minor. I got to take a look at this, and I'll be back in a second with them activating a minor. Okay, after looking around and not seeing a whole lot of good options, I guess we'll just take the least bad option, and we're going to activate Turkey. So I'm going to grab the markers. I'll head over to the status display, and we'll take a look at how this is going to pan out. Alright, let me find the Turkey marker. once a lot of these miners get off the center hex, things are a lot easier to find. Okay, let's see what we got here. We got a 1 for the Soviets. We got a -2 for the Commonwealth. And a -1 for the US. So the 1s are not going to do anything because it costs at least 2 to move 1 hex in the neutral zone. So that leaves us with -2 for the Commonwealth. The Commonwealth marker is over here. So basically it's going to drive the marker into the same hex with Ireland. So I'm going to move it right there. Okay. All right. That is the end of the political phase. I'm going to roll initiative and weather, but first, let's take a look at what we're getting for reinforcements for this turn. Looks like a lot of pilots. Let's see, we're getting the Soviets are getting an infantry army. They're getting Timoshenko, HQ. The Commonwealth is getting, what is this? Transport in the reserve pool. That, a construction pool, sorry. That is good for them. We also get to deploy the Perth. That's going to probably go in Perth. And then we have, it's like 2 light cruisers and 2 heavy cruisers that the Commonwealth gets to put in the construction pool. And I think that's it for the, oh, and we got pilots. Looks like 5 pilots. So I'll credit those and deploy the 3 units that are coming on the map. And then I'll roll initiative and the weather. And I'll probably come back with a quick summary of what happened or basically didn't happen this turn. The only thing I can see happening is the Japanese got another unit they'll probably transport to the mainland, and Italy will be sending their transport down to the Red Sea or Asmara to pick up another Italian unit to bring back to the mainland. Okay, so I'll probably be back at production. Okay, quick summary of the turn. The Japanese actually didn't have anything left to put over on the mainland. The Italians sent their transport back down to Africa to pick up another unit for next turn. And the Commonwealth didn't do anything. I think they didn't do anything. The Americans didn't do anything. The Chinese basically moved a couple units on map. Basically 1 unit. And interesting thing is we have a Soviet buildup on the border of Persia. I don't know what that's about. Probably going to be the typical take out Persia ploy that the Soviets use. Okay, let's take a look at production. Okay, for this turn, Germany produced 7, started with 4, and spent 1. They are laying down another heavy cruiser. The Japanese produced 4, started with 4, and spent 2. They're building a tanker and a convoy point and a combat air group for free. The Italians produced 2, started with 1, spent 0. The Soviets produced 3, started with 2, and built a pilot for a total of 2 spent. The Commonwealth produced 5, started at -1, as not building anything. The French produced 2, started with 2, and spent 2 on 2 convoy points. The USA produced 3, started with 3, and spent 3. They are pulling the Yorktown out of the construction pool and building 2 combat air groups. China produced 1, started with 0, and didn't spend anything. Okay, I will get these units onto the circle, and then I think we'll just roll straight on into the September-October turn. Back in a second. Okay, we're in the September-October turn now. Starting money is looking something like this. We have Germany at 3, Japan at 2, Italy at 1, the Soviets at 0, Commonwealth at -1, France at 0, USA at 0, China at 1. Due to the lack of money and the fact that Japan and Italy both have a gear up coming. Neither of those major powers bid. The Democrats, they just want to save up some money at this point, so none of them bid. The Soviets are doing the same, so they didn't bid. So we had one major power bidding, and that was Germany. They bid one. For their +4 is going to be a 5. It's going to put them in the first spot. None of the rest of them are going to change. So this is the order as it stands right now. And so the political, I guess we'll go right to Germany for a political option. And Germans are going to pick minor economic agreement. They're going to get another resource from Sweden. That'll be the second resource from Sweden. They started the game with one. I will put out the one marker in Sweden and then go take a look and see what Germany may want to activate. I'll be back in a second. Okay, I think Germany is going to activate Austria. We're just going to clean out the ones. None of those are actually going to do anything, even though Austria is in the fascist ideology. The -1 for the Germans is not going to do anything. It's not even going to move the marker. So I'm just going to clean those markers out of there. And that's going to end the political phase. Let's go take a look and see what we're going to be getting for reinforcements. So, we got 2 infantry armies for the Soviets. We got a couple of CAGs here. One for the Japanese, one for the Commonwealth. We got some more pilots. Looks like that's a 1. Looks like 3 more pilots. Finally, getting some convoy points showing up. 1 American, 1 Commonwealth, 1 Japanese. The French get a very good infantry corps for them. And then we got a whole bunch of ships going in the construction pool. The British got, Commonwealth has a couple of cruisers. The Germans have the Admiral Hipper, which is a really good cruiser. The Japanese are also getting a couple cruisers. The Chikuma and the Tone. And then there's a pile right here. Let's see, we got the Gneisenau going in the construction pool. I think this is the Scharnhorst. Yep, that's going in the construction pool. The French have the battleship Reichlau construction pool. The French also have the Strasbourg construction pool. Japanese have another carrier. This is the Titos. That's a construction pool. All this is construction pool. And then we got 2 more. We got the Enterprise construction pool and the Ark Royal for the Commonwealth construction pool. Imagine next couple of turns some of these carriers are going to make it onto the board. Especially the cruisers. Alright, now I'm going to roll the weather. I'll roll initiative, roll the weather. Going to deploy these units onto the map. I think the CAGs are probably going to go in the reserve pool. I don't see them going on the map. They're really terrible. They're really bad. They're really bad. So we'll just put them in there for now. Nobody's at war, so it doesn't matter too much. And probably just run through the turn. I don't think anything's going to happen. I don't anticipate anybody going to war at this point. So I'll probably come back with the production for the September-October turn in a few minutes. Okay, here we are at production for the September-October turn. We have Germany. Germany produced 7. They started with 5. They spent 3. A pilot, and they pulled the Scharnhorst out of the construction pool. Japan produced 3, started with 5, they spent 3, they pulled the Chitos out of the construction pool and the Kumano out of the construction pool. Italy produced 2, started with 3, they spent 1. they pulled the Garibaldi out of the construction pool. The Soviets produced 3, started with 3, they spent 2, they built a garrison army. The Commonwealth produced 5, started with 4, spent 3. Tanker point, convoy point, and they laid down another cruiser. The French produced 2, started with 2, spent 1. That's a convoy point. The Americans produced 3, started with 3, and spent 3. A convoy point. They laid down a light cruiser and a heavy cruiser and a combat air group. China produced 1, started with 2, and they spent 2 on a fighter. Looks like the Chinese might be giving the Japanese a go for it this time. Okay, so that's going to do with production and wrap up the September-October turn. I'll get these on the circle. I think we're just going to roll straight into November-December and finish out 1936. Okay, November-December. Let's take a look at starting money for the major powers. We have 2 for Germany, 2 for Japan, 2 for Italy, 1 for the Soviets, 1 for the Commonwealth, 1 for France, USA and China both at 0. Alright, I've already logged the bids for the major powers that won political options this turn. Due to the lack of money, all major powers that wanted to do something this turn only bid 1. So they're going to rely on their initiative position from last turn to see to get a good spot. Now, Germany's bidding 1. Okay, take a look at the chart over here. Germany's bidding. Okay. Germany's bidding 1. They get a +4. That's going to give them 5. That'll be first place for them. The Commonwealth is bidding 1. Italy is also bidding 1. They both get a +3 for 4. So in this case, the tie will be broken by their political effectiveness. However, both Italy and the Commonwealth are 3. So in that case, if that fails to break the tie, then it's just current order. That the tie is broken by current order. So the Commonwealth will be 2nd, the Italians will be 3rd. Japan bid 1. They get a +2. That's 3. That'll put them in 4th. The French bid 1. They get a +1 for 2, but that's good enough for 5th. The last card will go at Germany, and the last card will go down here to French. The USA is at +2, that'll put them in at 6. The Chinese are at +1, that'll put them in at 7th. And the Soviets will be at 8th. Oh, and I just want to note, I forgot to adjust the political effectiveness markers for both the Purge and Tojo Takes Over. So both Japan and the Soviet Union are at 4. However, due to the naval treaty, the Soviet Union is still getting a -1 for that. And the Commonwealth got a ship on the board, so I'll have to adjust their naval treaty by 1 point for that. It's not going to affect anything though. Okay, let's go and take a look and see what Germany wants to do for their political option. Fairly straightforward with the Germans. Minor economic agreement. They're going to get another resource from Sweden. They like that. Swedish iron ore. So I will put a 1 point marker in Sweden for that. And I'll come right back with Germany activating a minor and then rolling to see if they end the political phase. Okay, I think, after looking at the board, I think that Germany is going to pick Sweden to activate for their minor country activation. Come over here to the status display. Grab all the markers. Let's see what we got here. We have a -2 for German. 1 for the Commonwealth, 1 for the Soviets, a -1 for the Soviets, a -1 for the Commonwealth, and 1 for the US. So none of the ones are going to do anything, so we'll just get rid of them. And so for the Germans, it's 2, so that's going to move the Swedish marker 1 closer to Germany. It's a long ways to go for them, but it's a start, at least from the German vantage point. All right, last thing we're going to do, I'm going to roll a die and see if we end the political phase. This will end the political phase on a 1, and if that happens, nope. Yeah, I was going to say, if that happens, there's going to be a lot of angry other major powers. So we're going to move down to the Commonwealth now. I'm going to pay that total of $5. Alright, let's go see what the Commonwealth wants to do. I had a couple of different things I was going to possibly do with the Commonwealth, but I decided that she wants to try to get a level 2 treaty with France. So we're going to propose that. Not paying any money right now. Not activating a minor. The only thing we are going to do is we're going to roll a die to see if the political phase ends. In this case, it's going to be a 1 or a 2. And an 8 does not end the political phase. So I will come back with the Italians in just a second. Okay, Italy's going to go with good old increased bid points. That's going to give her twice as many bid points as her current modified political effectiveness. Her political effectiveness is 3, so she's going to get 6 bonus bid points. And since it's a 0, we don't activate a minor. It's kind of like a house rule, sort of. I just don't think it's worth... anyways, okay, so I'm going to roll to see if the political phase ends. If not, Japan will get a go. I rolled a 6. So the political phase does not end. We will move on to Japan. And I'll just use the Italian sheet because they're going to do the exact same thing. Increase bid points. However, Japan's political effectiveness is now 4. So that's going to give her plus 8. Alright. No activating a minor. None of that stuff. It doesn't actually cost any money to do these. It's a 0 cost option. So, we're just going to roll to see if we end the political phase, which will make the French kind of unhappy. A 5, there's been three previous political options played. So that would be a 2. So no, we get to keep going. All right, because it's a 1, a 2, a 3. No, it's... Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I got confused there for a second. Okay, so now we're going to move down to the French. Alright, I know what the French are going to do. They're going to play their agree to a proposal option, which is OF. OF, agree to a proposal. I don't even need to dig the sheet out. So they're going to agree to the Commonwealth's level 2 treaty. And they will sign a level 2 treaty one for them, between them two. And I will put the markers out, and I'll come back, and when I do, the Commonwealth will get to activate a minor. So I'll be back in a second. Okay, now we're at the point where it's time for the Commonwealth, after successfully completing their level 2 treaty with the French, it's time for them to activate a minor. Now, there are several choices out there. I mean, we have Poland with 4. That's pretty good. Czechoslovakia with 3. But we kind of want them under the French marker, not ours. That doesn't matter too much. But what I was... Oh, we also got Spain at 2. But I think we're going to go for Belgium. Belgium has a 2-point marker. Grab the marker, we'll have it over to the status display. That's the 2 points. Belgium's right here. The Commonwealth is right here. Normally takes 2 per hex, 1 to cross the boundary. However, we get a -1 for moving towards you in your ideology. So it'll be a -1. So it'll actually cost 2 points to enter that hex. So there we go. Belgium is now stacked with the Commonwealth, which is probably something that the Commonwealth thinks is pretty good. French probably think it's pretty good too. So that ends the political phase. All 5 major powers got to do a political action. We'll go take a quick look at the reinforcements for this turn. Then I'll probably run through the turn because I don't really see any wars breaking out. There'll be a few units moving here and there. Some of the Chinese units are probably going to move. Oh, the Italians will bring back another unit. And, well, actually, they brought one last turn. They're going to send their transport back down this turn. Yeah, so then I'll probably just run through the turn and we'll pick it up at production. But first, let's go take a look at reinforcements. We are in November, December. So we have the Chinese got a unit. Speaking of, it's a nationalist cav unit. Got 1-5, but hey, every little bit helps. So we're just gonna put them over here, I guess. All right. They also got a pilot. Pilot to put in that fighter they just built last turn. The Commonwealth got another transport going in the construction pool. They have another combat air group. That'll probably go over here. The French have a convoy point. The Japanese have a convoy point. The Americans have 2 convoy points. Japan gets a tanker. Oh, I got an American ship coming on the board. And we got it's a whole bunch of stuff going in the construction pool. Oh, we got another tanker point for the 1 tanker for the Commonwealth, 2 tankers for the French. I think that's going to allow them to bring in the oil that the Commonwealth agreed to give them from British Guyana. That's going up here. These guys are going in the construction pool. More heavy cruisers, and what do we got here? I think we got a couple of battleships. Yeah, the Veneto and the Littorio. 2 good Italian battleships going into the construction pool. So I will get these on the map, and I'll come back with probably production and a brief summary of what happened in the turn. Okay, for this turn, production is Germany at 8. Yep, Germany did increase their production with last couple of turns. 2 Swedish ore increased their production by 1. They spent 3 on a pilot, and they think they pulled the Gneisenau out of the construction pool. So that should actually be flipped over. Yes, it is. Okay, there we go. The Japanese produced 3, started with 4. Italy produced 2, started with 3. Neither spent anything. They're both eligible for gear ups in the next turn. The Soviets produced 3, started with 4, and spent 3 on an infantry army. Commonwealth produced 5, started with 1, no spending. France produced 2, started with 2, and spent 2. they are building a fighter. The USA produced 3, started with 3, and spent 3. They pulled the Enterprise out of the construction pool. So that should be flipped over. China produced 1, started with 1, and saved their money. Okay, for the last turn on the map, not a whole lot happened. The French brought a 3-3 back from Syria. The Italians, their transport went back down to Asmara. The Chinese moved a few units around in China, just basically looking to try and bolster their lines a little bit. I think they're going to try to get some kind of agreement with the Soviets so the nationalists and communists can cooperate, or at least tolerate each other. Okay, so that's the end of the production. I'm going to get those markers on the spiral, not the markers, the production on the spiral. Also, this is year end, so what I have to do is I have to go through the reinforcements, the force pull editions for 1937. I got to sort all these out, put them into cups. Generally 37 I think has the fewest amount of all the years. It shouldn't take too long, but that's what I got to do. And I'm going to get this turn uploaded, and I will see you soon for the next video, which probably will be in a day or so. And thanks for watching, and like and subscribe. Appreciate it.